On this episode, I'd like to talk about last weekend's NFL playoff game between the Packers and the Cowboys, my favorite top 5 WrestleMania matches, and the infamous D.B. Cooper. Stay tuned. Welcome to episode number 3 of A Touch of Madness with your host, Madness. I'd like to welcome you to this week's episode number 3 of A Touch of Madness. And I would like to talk about the Packers and the Cowboys, my recap of the game, my top 5 favorite WrestleMania matches, not nobody else's, mine, not any websites. These are my matches I'd like to watch. And the infamous D.B. Cooper who stole $200,000 and got away with it, never got caught. Or did he die? We'll talk about that. First off, let's start off with the Packers versus the Cowboys. Divisional round game last weekend. I went to my cousin's, had a good time with family and friends. Thank you to my cousin for inviting me. But let's kick things off with the Packers and the Cowboys, my recap. So let's go straight to the highlights and then we'll talk about this game. Here we go in the first quarter. Cowboys kick a 50-yard field goal, and it's good. 3-0 Cowboys. Here's Aaron Rodgers. Flag thrown. Free play. Rodgers for a touchdown. 34-yard touchdown. Aaron Rodgers knew it was a free play. You seen the flag. Sean Lee all over Rodgers, but Rodgers scores a touchdown. Nice touchdown play. Here we go at Montgomery. Montgomery had run it in for a touchdown. All of a sudden, it's 14-3 Packers. 3-yard run. There we go, Ty Montgomery again. And he's going to punch it in for a 1-yard run. And all of a sudden, it's 21-3. The Packers look like they're getting away with this game. But here goes Dak Prescott. And he finds Des Bryant for the touchdown. 21-10. Here we go again on the kickoff. Big mistake here by the Packers, as I believe his name is Michael. Brings it out, and he's stopped at the 6-yard line. Big mistake, and the Cowboys capitalize, and it's 21-13. Here we go, Rodgers rolling out of the pocket. He finds Randall Cobb, but was he in? They say it's a catch, and they're going to show the replay. The replay shows Randall Cobb gets both feet in with the right one dragging. Good play by Aaron Rodgers and Randall Cobb. Here we go, Rodgers. Play action. Finds Cook for a touchdown. All of a sudden, it's 28-13. Prescott intercepted by Micah Hyde. It looked like the Packers were going to take this game away here. And here goes Rodgers. What would he do? He throws and he gets intercepted by Heath. And Heath could run it back all the way, but he gets tackled down at the 43-yard line. All of a sudden, here comes the Cowboys coming back. Good play by Heath. Here we go to Prescott. Prescott looking, finds Witten for the first down. First and goal. 28-13 still. Here we go, Prescott. Play action. Back to Witten for the touchdown. All of a sudden it's 28-20. And here goes Elliott. Tippy-toeing on the sideline. Great run by Elliott. Here we go, Prescott. Play action again, and he finds Des Bryant for the touchdown. All of a sudden, it's 28-26. And Prescott, they'll go for 2, and they tie it at 28. Cowboys are marching back, but late in the fourth. The Packers kick a field goal. And Longwell makes it. All of a sudden, it's 31-28. What would the Cowboys do? Here goes Prescott. He finds Williams at the middle of the field. And the Cowboys end up getting a field goal range. Here goes Bailey for a field goal to tie the game up with 35 seconds left. 52-yard field goal by Dan Bailey. Here goes Rodgers, and he gets sacked by Heath. Heath was having a heck of a game. And here goes 12 seconds left in the game. Rodgers rolls out. What would they do? Would they still go to overtime? Or he finds Cook. Was it a catch? One referee overruled the other one. They're going to have a booth review on this one. And the replay shows that it was a catch. That's going to put Crosby and the Packers in for a field goal. But wait a minute, Cowboys call a timeout. That one does not count. Here it goes, Longwell for 56 yards, and he barely squeezed it in, and the Packers move on to beat the Dallas Cowboys. What a great game that was to watch. Great game to watch. I predicted it. I said it on episode 2 of A Touch of Madness that if the Packers had a chance to win, they needed to score fast and early, and that's what they did, and that kept them into the end of the game. If you don't believe me, you can go back to episode 2 of A Touch of Madness and watch it. Now, I got the Falcons versus the Seahawks wrong. I picked the Seahawks. The Falcons won. I picked Pittsburgh over Kansas City because I wasn't buying Kansas City. I got that right. I picked the Patriots over the Texans. Wasn't nobody betting on the Texans. All I gotta say though is, you Cowboys fans, don't let this bother you because you got a bright future ahead of you. You got a good quarterback, and you also got a good running back. That could be a great running back if he stays healthy during his career. He made an A+ player, and Clay Matthews looked like a fool. And I got the video clip right here to show you what I'm talking about.
Clay Matthews is right in the hole. Elliott puts a spin move on him, and that's a heck of a run by this rookie running back.
So don't worry, Cowboy fans. You got a bright future ahead of you. Both rookies, quarterback, running back. I possibly see championships in your future. Now I'm going to predict the Packers versus Atlanta. I think the Packers need to run Ty Montgomery more. Don't go away from the pass. I'm just saying run Ty Montgomery some more. And then, so I got the Packers going over the Falcons. And then I got the Steelers upsetting the Patriots. And then it's going to be the Packers and the Steelers in the Super Bowl. If I'm wrong, I'll come on here and admit it that I'm wrong. Now next I'd like to talk about my 5 favorite matches, entertaining matches for me from WrestleMania, from all the WrestleManias. From every WrestleMania, my top 5 favorite entertaining matches to watch of all time. My favorite top 5, not anybody else's. My favorite top 5. But you know, everybody, one match that should have happened already, that never happened, this isn't in my list, is The Undertaker versus Sting. Both characters are dark and mysterious. Both characters never been in the ring at the same time with each other. You know, we know they know each other. It's a soap opera storyline, but they have never been on TV in their characters ever together at the same time.
Oh my God! It's Sting! Stinger's here!
The franchise! He's made the first time he did! Oh, God!
But why is Stinger here?
None of his damn business, I'll tell you!
Now to have both of them characters in the ring at the same time, that would be... They wouldn't even have to say anything. Those characters have been around for 30 years. It's a shame they haven't wrestled at WrestleMania against each other. It's just a shame. They're both in their 50s. They still can do it. WWE needs to do it now. They need to have them meet for the first time ever on TV in character. It'd be cool. It'd just be a cool sight. You'd get 2 chances out of that. Now that would be awesome. WrestleMania 33, Sting, The Undertaker. That would be awesome. But what am I talking about? It's never going to happen. I can dream, can I? But the WWE does need to pull the trigger on that. Do that this year. This year will be the last year they could try to do it. They don't do it, and it probably ain't. It's sad. It's terrible. Anyways, I want to talk about my favorite matches that entertain me the most. My top 5. Not any website's top 5, not anybody else's top 5, but my top 5. They don't have to be exactly a good wrestling match. They're just what entertains me the most. But here's some honorable mentions. WrestleMania 25 in 2009. The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. That was a good match. I recommend you watch that one. And we all know who had the greatest match of all time, which was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus the Macho Man. 1987, WrestleMania 3, in front of 97,000 fans in Detroit, Michigan. But here we go with my top 5 most entertaining or good wrestling matches that entertained me the best. They didn't have to be great wrestling matches, just entertainment wise. So here goes my top 5. So at number 5 was Edge versus Mick Foley. April 2nd, 2006, WrestleMania 22. A hardcore match. Anything goes. Great match there at number 5 between Mick Foley and Edge. The hardcore legend Mick Foley and Edge. Edge would have a couple title reigns after that. Now we're going to go to my number 4, which is Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. April 1st, 2001 at WrestleMania 17. A straight up match. Both are good wrestlers. Kurt Angle, an Olympic wrestler. Benoit, just a good technical wrestler. Both can put on a good show. Both very good wrestlers, performers. Kurt Angle, a real Olympian gold medalist in wrestling. Won the Olympics with a gold medal with a broken neck. And Chris Benoit, a really good performer and technical wrestler at the wrestling craft. Very good match. They both put on a wrestling clinic. I love that match. And not only that, I'm a Kurt Angle guy. I'm a Kurt Angle mark. He's a legitimate badass like Brock Lesnar. So that's why that is my number 4. Now on to my number 3, which is another WrestleMania 17 match. April 1st, 2001, WrestleMania 17. A tables, ladders, and chairs match. You must climb the ladders. Tag team match. You must climb the ladders to get the belts that's hanging on a hook to win the match. This was a phenomenal match that night, and it went down as one of the best ladder matches in the books. Great match by those teams. They made the ladder match what it is today. They helped make it bigger with the tables, ladders, and chairs. So the ladder matches are all give credit to those teams right there. The Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, and Edge and Christian. So that's why that's my number 3. Now my number 2 is going to be April 3rd, 2005, WrestleMania 21. The Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle versus the showstopper, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, who calls himself Mr. WrestleMania. So they both were leading into this match, having something to prove against each other. Great match between two great performers, Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle came out on top. Like I said, I'm a Kurt Angle mark. Was my favorite wrestler at the time. That was a good match. A bunch of near falls, close pins. Very good match. Now, my number 1 wasn't a very good match, but it was a good entertaining match. You had The Rock becoming a big star in the WWE, and then you had Hulk Hogan that wasn't in the WWE for 9 years. And when he came back, he wasn't wearing the red and yellow. He was wearing the black and white of the NWO, the leader of the NWO, and became a bad guy. The WWE screwed up on this one because they wanted the fans to boo Hulk Hogan, and this would make The Rock a bigger baby face, is what they call it in the business. But things didn't work out that way. The fans cheered. 70,000 people cheered for Hulk Hogan. So, but this is my number one. March 17th, 2002, WrestleMania 18. My childhood hero, Hulk Hogan, versus The Rock, the up-and-comer. This wasn't a very good match, like I said, but it was very entertaining to see two big stars go at it. And the biggest stage of them all, WrestleMania. So, real classic match between two superstars. Two big stars that came out of the wrestling business that helped the wrestling business become as big as it is today. Wasn't a great match, but it was entertaining and it was fun to watch. So that's my number one. I could watch it over and over and over again because Hulk Hogan was my childhood hero besides the Macho Man. Now we're going to talk about D.B. Cooper. So I'm going to show you a video about D.B. Cooper right here, right now.
The hijacking of Flight 305 by D.B. Cooper. On the afternoon of November the 24th, 1971, a man identifying himself as Dan Cooper purchased a one-way ticket from Portland to Seattle, Washington. He boarded Northwest Airlines Flight 305, a Boeing 727. Cooper took a seat in the rear of the plane. Once in flight, he lit a cigarette and ordered a drink from the flight attendant. After receiving and paying for his drink, Cooper passed a note to the flight attendant which stated that he had a bomb. The note went on to say that he wanted $200,000 in $20 bills and 4 parachutes, 2 primary and 2 reserve. Wearing sunglasses, the mystery man remained calm and friendly to the flight attendants. Once on the ground in Seattle, the FBI provided the ransom money after thoroughly documenting and photographing each of the bills. The parachutes were provided to the hijacker and the plane was refueled. Upon receiving his ransom demands, Cooper released all of the passengers and flight attendants. All who remained on the plane were the pilot, co-pilot, the flight engineer and 1 flight attendant. He then instructed the pilots to fly towards Mexico City at 200 miles per hour at an altitude of 10,000 feet. The hijacked airliner took off from Seattle at 7:40 p.m. with the flight crew under instructions to stay in the cockpit. Shortly after takeoff, flight attendant Mucklow observed the hijacker tying something to his body. At 8 p.m. the rear staircase indicator light came on in the cockpit, as the rear staircase of the craft was being lowered manually from inside the aircraft. At 8:13 p.m. with the parachutes and 21 pounds of ransom money in his hand, Dan Cooper jumped from the plane. In the days following the hijacking, the FBI began to investigate the crime. A search of the plane yielded very few clues, but it was discovered that before jumping from the aircraft, Cooper had removed his tie. Many witnesses were questioned, and on a hunch detectives questioned a man named D.B. Cooper, but nothing ever came of this. With help from the US Air Force, the FBI recreated the jump conditions of the jump, and placed his landing in the area around Lake Mermin, Washington. The FBI, with the help from state and local law enforcement, the US Air Force and the National Guard began to comb the woods in the area of the supposed landing site of Dan Cooper. The searches, eyewitness questioning, suspect list, and a trace of the numbered bills used to pay the ransom failed to yield any leads at all. To this day, the hijacking of Flight 305 by Dan Cooper remains an open case. In 1978, deer hunters near Castle Rock, Washington, discovered the information place card from the rear staircase of Flight 305. Castle Rock is located north of Lake Merwin. In 1980, $5,800 of the ransom money was found buried on a sandy shore of the Columbian River near Vancouver, Washington, over 20 miles from Lake Merwin. The money was deteriorated and waterlogged, but was still bundled in the original packing. Over $194,000 from the ransom has never been recovered. In 2008, a piece of parachute found near Amboy, Washington, 6 miles from Lake Merwin, is believed to be one of the parachutes that Dan Cooper used in his escape from the hijacked airplane. These items, the money, place card and parachute, are the only evidence that has ever been located in connection with the crime. The FBI officially suspended active investigation of the case in July 2016, but continues to solicit submission of any physical evidence that might emerge related to the parachutes or ransom money.
Now, if you'd like to know more about D.B. Cooper, there was new on the news recently. They said they had a link between his tie and JCPenney. I don't know how they're going to figure that out, but there's some kind of link there. They're going to try to figure it out. We'll see what happens in the upcoming months or years to come. I don't know if he's alive or dead, if he made it alive. The guy's the smartest crook in the history. But if you want to know more about D.B. Cooper, Google him, YouTube him. You can find out more. But I'd like to thank you for watching my episode today. Episode 3 of A Touch of Madness. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like, subscribe, and peace. See you on episode 4 of A Touch of Madness.